Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading at number 642. Before getting into this reading, chances are most of the people watching this video are not subscribed, so if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work and would like to help support the growth of my channel, feel free to do so by sticking around, hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it so you don't miss an upload. My current goal is 500 subscribers so I can have access to offering channel memberships, so if you do decide to subscribe and support me, thank you very much. So, starting with interpreting the number 642. This brings the energies of unconditional love, the devil in terms of unhealthy attachments, whether it's addictions, codependencies, etc. There's also something here about stability, balance, priorities, letting go of things that take stability away from you, whether it's emotionally or materially. In terms of, I got a little bit confused in what I was thinking there, but I do think that the main focus here is stability, and mostly on an emotional level in terms of how you look at yourself, the world, those around you, your general perspective on life, death, very deep topics. You're definitely being encouraged here to let go of things that just are not healthy for you, to learn how to be open to different outcomes. It's not that like being attached to something is totally a bad thing. I think naturally as humans we just get attached to things, and it really only becomes unhealthy when we refuse to let go when we need to, when it's in our best interest to let go. And I actually got an itch, I think around the area where my third eye would be. So trust yourself, follow your intuition, follow the guidance that resonates for you. And there could be a specific journey here that someone is on that you're being called to trust. Maybe this journey is about learning how to trust yourself more. But I'm going to, the number 2 is definitely significant for someone, because I looked at the clock as soon as it said 2 minutes. I think it said 2 minutes and 9 seconds when I started talking about the number 2. 9 is about your purpose, helping the Lord release what no longer works. So whatever you release or let go, it will give you deeper insight into your purpose, especially if it's something that is particularly difficult to let go. So now I'm going to draw out one card to start from the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. I just saw 3, 4, 5, which is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. And before I saw that, I accidentally looked at the bottom of the deck and I saw the 8 of Cups in reverse. So someone here is definitely struggling to walk away from something or someone that's interesting, because the 8 for me is a number about letting go. It can also be about interconnectedness, really understanding how connected everything and we all are on like an energetic level. The type of energy you put out, how you show up in the world, it does matter for more reasons than just the kind of future that you create for yourself. And I just saw 444. that really confirms what I was talking about in the beginning with 642. How 4 was kind of the strongest energy I was picking up on. So prioritize stability. Let's go ahead and draw out this card now. Okay, this is actually really interesting. I have the 6 of Wands in reverse. I thought seeing this card was interesting because when I wrote in my journal today, I pulled this card for myself along with the Death card and the 4 of Swords in reverse. So there could be some overthinking, worrying, really avoiding breaking some sort of cycle that is preventing you from getting the recognition and the validation that you deserve. Even though this is a 6 of Wands in reverse and it can represent victory and it's in reverse, there's still potential here. This energy is just blocked. Let me read what's written on this card for the reverse. It says, comparing yourself with others, not following truth, people pleasing, not your idea of success, disappointment, self-dishonesty, and upright. It says success, momentum, victory, self-confidence, and reward. So you can be in this rewarding, self-confident, successful, momentous, victorious energy, but first you need to stop comparing yourself to others, embrace the truth, be willing to say no and stand up for yourself, and go after what success truly means to you. It's very important to be honest with yourself about what success means to you. And I saw at the bottom of the deck the 7 of no, this is the Chariot in reverse. I kept wanting to say the 7 of Wands and the 7 of Cups, and I saw that those cards together earlier as well. Literally, the 7 of Cups was clarifying the 7 of Wands. So be wise about your choices, especially when it comes to using your voice and standing up for yourself. We're 7 minutes into the video. The number 7 is all about wisdom. This Chariot card says setbacks, lack of willpower, too focused on the details, remember main motive for goals. Actually, yeah, the Chariot is about you being in control, you being in the driver's seat, not your fears or other people. It's very important for you to take control over your own life, take control over the narrative. You tell the world who you are, not the other way around. But at the same time, it's important to balance that out with being open to criticism. The 6 on this card as well is emphasizing the 6 from 642, which was that unconditional love, devil, like unhealthy attachments type of energy. So don't be afraid to love yourself unconditionally, because I think it's being stubborn around that is directly holding you back. Loving yourself unconditionally is exactly what you need to do. You need to be victorious in the relationship with yourself before you can be victorious in relationships with other people or with opportunities outside of yourself. If you want validation and recognition outside of you, you first have to be willing to recognize and validate yourself first. I'm going to start wrapping up this reading by drawing out one card from this box of cards, which are cards that I made myself. If you didn't already know, I always get so excited about this, pulling out this card, because it's just as a surprise for me as it is for you. Of course I wrote them, but it's still very interesting to see how they resonate. but I have the Queen of Cups in reverse. It says, I'm overly emotional, and in reverse, or the upright, I mean, it says, I am caring and understanding and maintain control. So that's the thing, whether it's upright or in reverse, the Queen of Cups is always understanding and caring, but when it's in reverse, it's understanding and caring to a fault. I just saw 1, 1, 1. So wherever you feel like you're giving too much, where you're being too understanding, too caring, wherever you feel like you need to set up boundaries and that, you know, that type of thing, trust yourself. Protect your energy, protect yourself. Be mindful of where you're investing yourself and your energy. Be very mindful of that. Make sure you're investing in people and things that truly reflect not only who you are and your values, but also respect your boundaries. You deserve to be surrounded by people and things that do value you, that do see your potential and how wise you truly are. I just saw 1, 1, 1, or 11, 11. So again, trust yourself. And there's also an extra message here about if you have any dreams or wishes. That's the awesome thing about the Queen of Cups, at least in my opinion. It's not that being emotional is a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. I think it's human. But as with anything, too much of anything is not a good thing. So maybe you need to look into learning how to emotionally regulate yourself. I don't know if you heard that sneezing in the background, but it's interesting because for me, sneezing represents blessings, and we've already, you know, the energy of your wishes, your dreams. Trust and believe that what you deeply desire for yourself and those around you is absolutely possible. And I just saw 12, 12. Wow. But the only way to make it truly possible to tap into that potential is to communicate, be honest about how you feel, and set boundaries where you should. Your energy is valuable. It's true for everybody, because whatever you invest in will grow. So are you going to grow unhealthy attachments, relationships? Are you going to stand up for yourself and use your voice? There's this big energy here around how change starts with you. You may recognize and even get frustrated about how others, like, why do you accept, you know, being this way or that way, or why do you accept less than you deserve? There could be someone or other people around you who, you know, ask the same of you. So remember, if you want other people to start standing up for what's right, for what they deserve, you need to be the change that you wish to see. And I do want to touch on how this says I'm overly emotional. I just saw 333. That number is all about expressing yourself. You're overly emotional for a reason. You need to express yourself and process, especially if you're overthinking and worrying and dealing with anxiety. Don't be hard on yourself either for being overly emotional if you resonate with that. Because it's logically just how things work. If you bottle up how you feel, you're going to be extra sensitive. Sensitivity in general is an interesting topic, because I believe we're all sensitive. It can just be hard to tell what makes us more sensitive. Is it the trauma? Or is it healing? Maybe it's both. But yeah, your sensitivity, that's a strength. But it can also be a weakness. Let me think for a second. Let me get a drink of water as well. I think anything can be a strength and anything can be a weakness. It's just about moderation and avoiding extremes. So I do encourage you to look for coping mechanisms or ways to express yourself, to get these emotions, the frustration, the sadness, the anxiety out so you can process it. And I want to tell you, if you need to cry, then cry. It's healthy. I just saw 1515, which is interesting because I associate that number with the devil, and I've already talked about that. You could be unhealthily attached to your image, and you see maybe being emotional or sensitive or expressing yourself as a weakness. And it can be, but it's not always is. I think it's interesting. I think believing that it's a weakness no matter what is what makes it a weakness. I don't know, this is very complicated energy. But there's definitely an attachment here that you need to work through that causes you to be overly emotional. And I think this is more so from within. And it could be manifesting as attachments outside of yourself. If it's hard to let go of something or someone, to move on, look within for your answers, because nothing outside of you is going to give you peace. Peace isn't tangible, if that's the right word. Something you create from within. So just know, like the general message that I'm getting here is, don't be hard on yourself. Love yourself unconditionally. Oh my gosh, I think that's where the unconditional love is really coming in. Accept that it's okay to be overly emotional sometimes, or to be sensitive, or to be angry, or to just feel, you know? I think maybe this is your shadow side. You need to better understand your shadow self. For some reason, I just heard your darker self. So that way you can learn how to love that side of you unconditionally. I think that's the side of you that you are rejecting. I think femininity is associated with the darkness, so regardless of your gender. I think it's important for you to take an honest evaluation of yourself. You know, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what is, you know, associated with the light, what's associated with the dark. Because I think being able to distinguish those sides of yourself will make it a lot easier to understand how you truly need to love yourself unconditionally. The more that you give yourself the space to be overly emotional, the less overly emotional you will be, because then you'll get those emotions out, because you'll let yourself process them. Let yourself process, express, and heal, because victory, whatever that means for you, it's possible. You just have to understand that tapping into that potential first starts with being honest and setting boundaries, especially for from people and things that reinforce the judgments that you have to your weaker or darker side of yourself.